Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com with a quick review and install of the BBK Varitune Cat-Back exhaust for 2015 and up GT Mustangs. In this review, we're going to cover a few different topics, but we'll mostly be talking about the sound of this Cat-Back and the install. Installing a Cat-Back on an S550 is an easy job, and this Cat-Back is no different, so I can tell you right now that I'm going to call it a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. This is a Cat-Back that's going to be a good option for someone that would like more of an old school muscle car sound without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. Some Cat-Backs for the S550 GT are just plain loud. They have a ton of volume and noise. This Cat-Back isn't quite like that. Just like with the axleback version of the system, BBK was focused more on the quality of the sound. They also work in an option of going from a 3-chambered muffler to a single chamber, which means that you can change your exhaust note as you want. So that means this is a versatile system that can be quiet for those that want a nice quiet upgrade, or throaty for those that want something a little bit more. So these mufflers have an internal adjustable power valve, and that's how they're going to change in sound. When the valve is closed, then the exhaust will be forced through all 3 chambers of the mufflers. When the valve is open, the exhaust can take the path of least resistance, which is through a single chamber. That's going to make the mufflers straight through mufflers, which is going to be more throaty and have some more volume along with it. This means that you can really personalize your exhaust system and choose which sound that you like better. More of a calmer upgrade over the factory mufflers, but still a big improvement, or as much volume as possible through the BBK system. And I will say that there is a difference between the closed and open positions on the mufflers. So the Cat-Back does have an X-pipe as a mid-pipe, which is traditionally going to give a louder, raspier note. I will say that the Cat-Back is deeper than stock for sure when the valve is closed and the exhaust is forced through all 3 chambers of the mufflers, but I'm not sure I'd really describe the system as extremely loud. It's louder than stock in all aspects and deeper as well, but overall pretty tame in my opinion when you compare it to some of the louder Cat-Backs. That's kind of what I expected here. Even with the valve closed, it does get louder on the higher RPMs, and for that reason, I'm gonna rate this Cat-Back as a 2 on the scale when the valve is closed. That mid-pipe helps this system with volume and sound, both when the valve is opened and closed. With that being said, the rating is going to change when the valve is opened, and like I mentioned earlier, there is a difference in the sound. When the valve is opened, it's gonna open up some more growl and some more rumble, and even some popping on decel, and a lot more raspiness. You're going to notice a difference in the settings, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, especially if you want a system that can be both tame and be more rowdy when you want it to be. Another good thing about this system is that you can hear that you have an aftermarket Cat-Back on the car from inside of the cabin, but I wouldn't say that there's a lot of drone, so this could be a good option for daily drivers. Even so, I would rate this as a 3 on the loudness scale. If you're looking for that aftermarket forceful sound, then I'd recommend just opening the valve right away and going right for the loudest setting. And speaking of changing the internal valving, it's adjusted right here at this point on each muffler. Some of the other features that this system has are 4-inch polished stainless steel tips, while the X-pipe is aluminized tubing and the axleback itself is stainless steel. When it comes to price, you can expect to spend between $900 and $1,000 for this system. That puts us right in the middle of the pack with pricing, especially when you start to consider some of the bigger players like Corsa, Borla, and Ford Racing coming in at over $1,000. When it comes to the install, you're going to be looking at an easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the scale when we look at difficulty. This is considered a direct bolt-on item, so you won't need to cut anything or modify anything to get it installed. All that you're really going to need is a socket set, and a lift would certainly make things easier, but the job can be done on jack stands as well. You're going to be removing the exhaust from the resonator back, so an extra set of hands can make things easier for you here. You'll be moving over your hangers to the new Cat-Back, so I'd recommend taking them off with the factory exhaust when you drop that, because it'll only make the swap a little bit easier. The only other thing you'll reuse is the front clamps off of the resonator for the front of the new Cat-Back. The whole Cat-Back can be dropped as one big piece, which is why I say that an extra set of hands can help you out. When you go to install your new setup, it'll probably be easiest to start from the front and move back. So install the mid-pipe area first, then move back to the muffler assemblies. And I would leave everything loose until you have it all lined up and then tighten it down. The Cat-Back does come with new clamps like I mentioned, so you don't have to worry about picking those up, and you can figure on spending about an hour or 2 from start to finish to get all of this done. Alright, wrapping things up for the BBK Varitune Cat-Back, this Cat-Back gives the option of running a quieter 3-chambered muffler, or you can open a valve from outside of the car with a turn of the wrench and open up some more volume from a single-chambered, straight-through type of muffler. This system features an aluminized X-pipe with a stainless steel axleback that's easy to install, and you can check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.